So I just made a video about how Trumpism and gambling are some of the worst addictions that humans face. And I forgot an important thing. Basically, the gist of it is just like sports gambling, for instance, ruins your enjoyment of sports. Like, as much as Americans really love sports, some Americans love sports so much, you think it's the thing they care about the most in the world. But no matter who you are, if you get into sports gambling, it can ruin your enjoyment of sports because it affects your brain. It changes the way you think and makes your changes your brain chemistry and the way you think about things so that you can only enjoy sports with the gambling just hijacks your what would otherwise be your enjoyment of sports, where you can't enjoy sports because it makes you want to gamble. And of course, no one would want that if they realized that's what the result of gambling on sports is going to have. You don't think about it as being an addictive substance because it's not a substance you take. It's something you do yourself or that they do to your mind that hooks you in it and that keeps you addicted. Trumpism is the same way, and you can tell that it's the same way because the other things these people supposedly care about get hijacked into Trumpism. So everybody who cares about Trump, maybe used to say they loved America or used to care about America or think they still love America, but their love of America has been hijacked into Trump. So, of course, they love Trump more than they love America, which is why they don't care about the Constitution or anybody else's right to vote or anything like that. All they care about is Trump at this point. Now, I made this point in my other video talking about how it hijacked their ability to be American, it hijacked their other values, even though it's not the best value in the world. States' rights is one of their values. Well, I mean, they're behind states' rights in order to be racist, so that's why it has been a bad value. But they've been about states' rights to be racist for 200 years. It's a very entrenched, important value to them. But now that it's before the Supreme Court, whether Colorado has the right to kick Trump off the ballot, they're going to be against states' rights. Or they're all about guns, but when Hunter Biden has a gun and it's somebody that's against Trump, then they're against that gun at least. And so it just goes to show that no matter what they claim to be into and claim to believe, they're against that when it comes down to Trump versus that. Trump has hijacked their ability to be for anything, or Putin has hijacked their ability to be for anything through Trump. And so Trump replaces all their true values. One of the things I meant to mention in the previous video was Jesus, Christianity. They care more about Trump than they care about Jesus. Now, lots of them try to conflate the two because it's the only way to, bridge the gap. But it's a gap. It's a widening gap that when you care about Trump or Putin, the Antichrist, and you don't care about Jesus, you're going the wrong way. And it's happening the exact same way that it happens to them in their Americanism. They don't care about America anymore. They care about Trump. They don't care about guns anymore. They care about Trump. They don't even care about states' rights anymore. They care about Trump. So they're addicted in the same way that gambling ruins your enjoyment of sports. Trump has ruined their enjoyment or appreciation or connection to America, Jesus, democracy, freedom, everything. And you can see that. It's really obviously true, right? So the point being that you have to free them in their minds, and you have to call out Trumpism as being against America and against freedom and against Jesus. You have to call out gambling as being against sports because, again, it ruins people's enjoyments of sports. And sports is something that people really, really, really enjoy. It hijacks that enjoyment. America and Jesus are something people really, really, really care about. And it hijacks that care to shift it to Trump. This is obviously a problem. The solution to the problem regarding Jesus is to betray Trump. You betray Trump and Putin, you can become American again. You betray Trump and Putin, you can follow Jesus again. Now, the thing about Jesus is a lot of people betray Jesus without knowing it because it's not painfully obvious how what they're getting into is against Jesus. But with Trumpers, with Trump-Putineers and Trumpism, it's painfully obvious that what they're getting into is against Jesus. That's painfully obvious to everybody. The fact that all these other Christians haven't stood up and corrected him, told him, is partly because of the way they've betrayed Jesus. They don't really know the full truth about Jesus. So part of the full truth that they're missing, I can't claim to know the full truth about Jesus, but part of the truth that they're missing is the Gospel of Judas, Jesus' secret conversation with Judas, and the fact that in the Gospel of Judas, and you can read about it in my book, The Book of Judas by Andrew Harris, in the Gospel of Judas, or check out my hashtag Church of Judas videos where I talk about it, Jesus tells Judas that his church is going to replace all the other churches. Now, the church, or evangelical Christians especially, or any type of so-called Christians supporting Trump, the Antichrist, shows that Christianity needs replacing now. The other Christians not doing enough about it to stop this whole phenomenon are also examples of how the church needs to be replaced. Maybe they'll replace their churches before, the evangelical and Trumper churches will replace. But it's time to replace the Christian churches. It's overdue to most people's sensibilities who understand these things, but it's definitely time. And this is the moment where we can betray an evil leader to rejoin a good leader. And that's the secret of, well, Judas didn't betray Jesus. Turns out the other disciples betrayed Jesus and betrayed Judas. Judas did what Jesus asked him to do. The point being that if it's Jesus asking you to do it, good. But if it's somebody lying to you and getting you to do the opposite of what Jesus would want, of what America would want, of what humanity wants, then that's the Antichrist. That's wrong and untrue. And it's that type of being or that type of operation that would hijack your mind in this way. Same problem with gambling. It's ruining your appreciation of sports. Trumpism ruins your patriotism, ruins your freedom, ruins your power of speech, ruins your independence, ruins your connection to Jesus. And it's real simple. You just put it in full reverse. You just break ties. You just betray an evil master. Your only duty to an evil master is to betray them. That's where the divinity of betrayal comes in. You can betray something bad for something good. And we can help everybody do that. Again, the Church of Judas is, according to Jesus, going to replace all Christian churches. So we can help that along. But it needs to happen now because it could get worse, but we can't stand it getting any worse. Like, the sooner we stop it, the better things will be. So let's cure people of this addiction to Trumpism, and let's save the world and America and ourselves from evil Antichrist Trump-Putiners, Trump and Putin. And save everybody for, a true loving Jesus who actually cares about people and all types of love and wants to end war and end patriarchy, tyranny, and oppression, and shows us a way to do that through Judas. So again, check out my book and Church of Judas, and thanks for watching. See you soon.